What's up, man?
What's good with you?
Shit, I see you got some new work.
Always working, man. I don't never start working, my nigga. You know what's going on. You know the vibes.
Oh, yeah. That shit, that legendary. For real.
You know what I mean? I really don't do shit like this, you know what I mean? But I figured it's time to start getting people some BTS, some behind the scene before I be on the scene. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This shit right here, this years ago, man. Shit hard to do. Still to this day, you feel me?
Some real shit.
I eat like a vulture. Now line. Freestyle go stupid.
So where the rap come from, man? Like, where it all began at?
Shit, this shit don't start. I was little nigga, you know what I mean? I was walking around rapping little shit like this right here, man, when I was goddamn 12, 13 years old, going hard. And I ain't even know what going hard was, but shit, them niggas let me know that I was hard. I was there with this shit.
For real.
Shout out that boy Demetri Whitehead, man, my partner.
Okay.
That boy brought that shit to the country, my nigga. We turned that shit up with a karaoke machine, my nigga. I watched this shit go from karaoke to goddamn CD, from CD to MP3 to where we at now, my nigga. Everything digital.
On one of your interviews, I heard you talk about, the jukebox. You heard me? Like,
oh yeah, that was a whole different vibe.
Okay.
A lot of these motherfuckers won't never get that experience, you know what I mean?
Right.
Motherfuckers were actually on the jukebox, niggas were paying to listen to me.
How old you was, man, at that time?
I'm probably about 14, 15.
All right.
I dropped one of the hardest motherfucking North Florida records you'll ever hear. It was an anthem. You feel me? This shit was played in the club. Every time I walk in the door, this shit on, my nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nigga had mad love. And I ain't never get this shit up. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I gave this shit up, man. Probably from 21 to 25, man. I just really was in the street. I ain't care about nothing but the money.
Yeah.
I ain't care about nothing else. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, shit, music was on the back burner, but shit, I went to prison, did my bid. Came back home, I still wasn't really focused on the music, you get what I'm saying? I had to get right back to the money.
Yeah.
Son birthday would come around, shit like that. Had to take care of him.
Had to get it out your love, huh?
Hell yes, you feel me? I did that shit, handled my business. Shit still wasn't going right for me down there in Florida. Shit, I packed out my very hard ass out loud.
Okay. And how Atlanta been treating you since you came out here, man?
Let me tell you something, man. I love Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta ain't got no problem with me. I ain't got no problem with Atlanta.
That's some real shit,
I know
man.
some real folks in Atlanta. I know the real Atlanta. I ain't talking about the people that be repping Atlanta. I'm talking the people that really Atlanta.
Yeah.
There's a fake ass friend.
What year you did this song?
I did this song. Let me see when I did this song. I did this song back in 2019.
All right.
You know what I mean? This was me and my partner, Zach White, man. One of my player partners, my boy Jay Neal in the video. Give my boy video credit.
All right.
Matter of fact, this shit's so crazy. You see the barbershop I'm shooting this shit in?
Yeah.
This shit crazy because of the fact that when I recorded this song, right, I was going through it with the niggas in this barbershop, right?
Yeah.
But I wasn't going through it like I had a problem with them. I was going through it like they had a problem with me.
Yeah.
So one day I left work early, my nigga. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm finna go to the studio. I ain't even sit around these niggas. I go to the studio, my nigga, and I freestyle this shit. Right?
Yeah.
And if you really go back and listen to that record and listen to it, you will see some kind of way everything that was in me came out of me. And it was so on point. And that was my last night working in that shop. I actually opened up that shop like 2:30 in the morning, shot the video, and it was freezing cold like a motherfucker out there.
Yeah.
And I called my nigga and I said, hey man, we got to do this shit, my nigga.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta do this shit. And he came and we did that shit, bro. On some old real shit, bro. It was like some hoe ass shit, cause the next day, believe it or not, my nigga, I get to the shop and this nigga had changed the locks.
Okay.
You feel me? But it was a blessing for me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And a lesson for them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Cause I had that shit pumping, had that shit beating. You know what I mean? I'm an A-list barber. I ain't no motherfucking B-list. I ain't no C-list. I ain't none of that shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mastered this shit just like I mastered this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I hit the nigga the next morning like, hey, home, you know, cause he done locked the door. Changed a lot. Need to get up here and open the motherfucking door and get my shit home. I don't want my shit. I don't want to talk. Nigga get there. Nigga try to rap, talk, all this extra ass shit. I don't do none of that. I pack my shit and I leave, my nigga. You know what I mean? And that was the basis for this song. It really was just slick how I was feeling.
Yeah.
And what I was going through, my nigga. And really like, nigga don't even know it, but the nigga in the chair, I'm cutting this nigga neck, Jay Neal, he really symbolized that nigga, the head of that shop.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That was attacking me on some old sucker shit cause I was getting my money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why this shit so player sentimental, but people don't know that if I don't say it. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of this shit, bro. A whole lot of this shit. I'm gonna let this roll on now.
So what's next for you, man? Like, you know, this legendary shit taking off.
What next?
With the multiple hustle, you got all that going on for yourself now, man. What's next?
What next for legendary, man? To keep being legendary. You know what I mean? I don't like to give people expectations. I just like to surprise people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cause one thing about it, when you put expectations out there and you begin to set these bars for yourself, you setting limits for yourself.
Yeah.
And see, I ain't want to set limits for myself. I'm the one that's gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep grinding. I got a lot of stuff on the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna talk about everything. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just show you.
Give them a little
You know what I mean?
something.
But definitely doing some big shit, man. Working with my boy Tula the cameraman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Videographer, artist, entrepreneur, all this extra shit. Shout out my boy Tula.
Okay.
Shout out them people that be showing me love. I ain't gotta say no name. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like for real. Like for real. Like, cause that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It ain't about getting a million views and a million likes, you know what I mean? It's about having that real shit, that solid shit that gonna keep you going, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I sit back, man. I just sit in there motherfucker and I just be vibing, man. Where the fuck is my hood life? Legendary.
So who influenced you to start rapping? Like, what was your...
Who influenced me to start rapping?
Yeah.
Really, I ain't even gonna lie. To be for real, it was him, man. Like I was a young cat, man, and I remember walking to elementary school, and while I was walking to elementary school, I had this little mini tape recorder, right?
Yeah.
So the tape recorder I used to take it and record video and shit. Well, record songs and listen to them. And I recorded fucking Slim Shady. Hi, my name is. What? My name is. And I learned that fucking song, and I just felt like the song was so lyrical and soft, but hard at the same time.
Okay.
And back then, during that era, you know, battle rap was the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you couldn't get out there and say some shit about a nigga, to a nigga, you know what I mean?
And you
ain't
had to
doing
come
that.
with
Your
the
ass gonna
hardest
get ate up,
punchline.
bro. You gonna get ate up. You had to have a punchline. You had to be able to, you know what I mean, really play the mind game with words.
Yeah.
And he started that shit, and then, like I said, my boy Demetri moved to the city. And back then we were recording and selling cassette tapes. You know what I mean? When he moved to the city with karaoke machine, he put me down with how to record on this shit. You know, we started rapping, and then it turned into we started holding battle rap sessions in the middle of the projects. Battle rap sessions at what we call the studio, which wasn't nothing but a fucking karaoke machine and a tape recorder, make sure we in the right spot. You know what I mean? And it started right there, man. And my hometown showed me plenty of love, man, when I was a young nigga with this shit, man. Like, I really was a celebrity at a young ass age in the small town that I came from.
Yeah.
Like, them folk, they showed me love, man. All the rap battles, ain't nobody win no rap battle if I was on the battle. You know what I mean? Like, for real. I was dropping that shit, you know what I mean? It was a bunch of old niggas that had money, You know what I mean? Shit like that. When we was sitting there doing what we was doing, they went and invested in equipment, all this type of shit. You know what I mean? To kind of try to overshadow a young nigga or some shit, but that shit didn't work.
Yeah.
I still was the hardest nigga. You know what I mean? I ain't never even get to work with none of these niggas. You know what I mean? That's the sad part though.
Yeah.
Cause it's like niggas was in slick competition, but how the fuck you in competition with a child?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's behind me. You know what I mean? But that's where it come from. The rapping, you know what I mean? My hometown, it even made me mad. It made me want to go harder because of the fact of how the situations in the table turned. I went from being one of the hottest niggas, the most on demand, all this shit. Every time I come around, hey, rap that shit, hey, rap for me, hey, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
To once these niggas figured out or felt like they figured out the way to do the same shit, they start fading away and trying to create their own audiences out this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I ain't never mad. I ain't never jealous. You know what I mean? I just kept working. I keep grinding. A lot of them niggas ain't got shit going right now. You know what I mean? And get what? I'm gonna be right here. If a nigga got it business right, you holler at me, you come right, nigga, we can talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This another one right here, my nigga. I dropped this shit. This shit on old, man. This shit on old, bro. This shit on old. Me and my niggas at what? Video location, man. We be over there, bro. We way over there on the west side, my nigga. That's
Look like the
Dixon Hill project, man. You know what I mean? We do fraud, nigga. We do fraud, nigga. Some fraud, nigga. Sell drug, nigga. Took blood, nigga. That's what I do, you feel me? Slide around them motherfucker like a turtle, my nigga. You feel me?
Yeah.
Stay in my shell, my nigga. Vision was off the chain back then, you know what I mean? My nigga was cold, man. I miss that nigga Zach White, bro. For real. Shout out to Zach White, man. Fuck going on with that. Man, that nigga did so much motherfucking work. Leave a fuck nigga wrapped up in plastic. I'm bumping. And I don't like regular reefer. And I don't like regular people. Get what? Alien, I been gone. E.T., no phone home. Like a spaceship. So take a spaceship. That's ironic, be like a turd.
So what your childhood was like back in Florida, man? Like,
shit, childhood was crazy, bro. When I said my childhood was crazy, that shit was crazy, but it was fun as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, nigga came up like in small ass town on South Florida, right? Population ain't shit, what?
yeah.
Man, I'm to my ain't shit. Probably about goddamn 1,600 people in the city limit, maybe. You know what I mean?
Everybody know everybody.
Everybody know everybody. But fortunately, I got to get raised up in a neighborhood where everybody was family type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Structure.
I had cousins that lived in the apartment across the street. I had an auntie that lived in an apartment across the street. I had a great grandma version, you know, to my family that was goddamn added to it that lived across the street. I had, you know, close friends and family. Then I had Miss Mel LeBird. She was like another goddamn auntie to me. Then I had my Uncle Charles and R.I.P. him, R.I.P. Aunt Willamette. You know what I mean? I had all them right there. I had Mr. Randolph, Simon Randolph, a.k.a., you know what I mean? Simon, you know what I mean? That raised me, taught me carpentry. You know what I mean? Taught me a lot. Taught me how to work with wood, how to use my hands and get some money when I was young. I had Kevin Salt, R.I.P. Salt. My best friend Junior, you know what I mean? I can name everybody that stayed in my neighborhood because the relationship was so deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was one of them neighborhoods where everybody beat your ass.
One fight off.
Everybody gonna beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? And not even from that perspective, but also from the perspective of parents. You know what I'm saying? If I get in trouble down here at your house, she ain't gotta go tell my mama. She gonna beat my ass. She gonna handle that
business, where I came from.
So it's like, I grew up in a neighborhood as such, but, and at the same time, I had two uncles that were DJs. Uncle invested, he had all the equipment. That where the love for music really came from. The real love for music started with my Uncle Joe. R.I.P. my Uncle Joe. Like, that nigga had all the fucking equipment, bro. I'm talking about big ass, tall ass speakers, mixers, record players, all this shit, man. And I was fascinated by all this shit. He used to tell me all the time, nephew, don't be going there fucking with my shit. Don't be fucking with my shit.
Sneaking there.
I know your ass been there fucking with my shit. I was sneaking in there fucking with this shit every time he leave. You know what I mean? And I learned how to DJ. I knew how to DJ at maybe 12 years old. I knew how to work everything. Mixers, scratch boards, record players, receivers, set it all up, speakers, everything. You know what I mean? And it was like, my house was home base for some of the biggest house parties in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? My uncles, my mama, all of them used to throw house parties, man, and I remember the neighborhood being overcrowded. I'm talking about cars backed up all the way outside of the neighborhood. You know what I mean? I watched niggas pass out from ODing on whatever they was on. I didn't know what they was doing at that time. I remember going in the living room one night, they were having one of these parties and they put all the kids in the room and all the furniture and this shit going crazy and a nigga in there like, ooh wee, oh. And you know, he fucking going crazy on my goddamn, I ain't gonna call your name, but you know who you was. Goddamn, he going crazy on our sofa. I was a young nigga, I probably about 6 years old. This nigga was fucking having a seizure. The ambulance come in, they break them little things, stick them up your nose to revive you. Like, so them was some early memories. That was an early memory, you know what I mean, that came along with a lot of other memories. You know what I mean, seeing the dope, seeing the weed, seeing the coke, you know, seeing the people smoke the crack on the can. Just everything. Like all that shit you wouldn't probably want nobody to see. I had the opportunity to see it. You know what I mean? And I ain't mad at it. I thank God that I got to see it because everything was an experience. You know what I mean? I came up in a good place. You know what I mean? The town I came up in, it ain't the best of people, but the people got some love. You know what I mean? Like, I can't say people down there really did me nothing. Did me no harm like that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't fuck with a lot of people's mindset back home, you know what I'm saying? But the town was the town, man. MLK Day, that shit was the biggest, dog. Man, we had motherfuckers coming from South Georgia, North Florida, South Florida, everywhere to come up there. You know what I mean? Monticello, Florida, that shit was big. The bar, AKA Allen Liquor, one of the, man, that shit, same thing, did numbers. Nigga, we had blocks. Nigga, I remember growing up young, nigga, you would go across town to the set, nigga, it's 40, 50 niggas in the same 2-block radius and everybody getting money, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Like, shit was real, shit was official. That's why I really love my city, but I hate that we got so far away from that shit. Like, niggas used to really stick together. Now, your city fall apart, but you still got people that trying to hold it together. I give big ups to them folks trying to hold it together down there. You know, I outgrew the city. You know what I mean? It wasn't that I don't fuck with the city, it's just I was too big. What I'm trying to do, when I'm trying to go down even allows them opportunities in the city. You know what I mean? And this for everybody that got the wrong impression on me and why I love the city and why I don't fuck with the city and why I don't come to the city. It ain't that I don't fuck with the city, I don't come to it, it's because I'm working. You know what I mean? And the shit that I'm working on, it ain't available to me there. You know what I mean? It's times when I come there and I'm gonna always come there. You know what I mean? The city was the shit, man. I love my city. I love Monticello, Florida. Till I die, nigga, that shit tatted on me, nigga. You know what I mean?
I feel you, brother. Man.
Shit real. Shit real, man. I'm talking about, man, I done saw it all, my nigga. I remember all the boys used to come through my nigga in the verts and in the 6-4s and the cut dogs and the sidekick truck. All this shit, man. These niggas got 24 switches on these motherfucking cars, man. All these niggas eating, man. And, you know,
motivated.
Yeah, it motivated me a lot. It motivated me a lot. You know what I mean? My mama was in prison. My daddy was in the street. Grandma trying to hold it down. My uncles, they, you know, doing their thing. They working and shit, but they got their issues too. Everybody got them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was like, shit, my brother became the man of the house. My brother became the man of the house and held shit down, man. I watched this nigga get it. When I say get it, I ain't never seen so much money and materialistic shit in one man motherfucking possession.
Yeah.
In person in my life. You know what I mean? I remember counting this nigga shoes one time. This nigga might have had 200 brand new pair of shoes. And this nigga wasn't no more than 21 or some shit. You know, 2 walk-in closet full of clothes. But this nigga doing all this shit and paying the bill, my nigga.
That's what
you know what I mean? And he was trying to keep me out the street. For the most part, I was a little smart nigga. I ain't gonna lie. I used to sing. I used to do everything, man. On the road student. You know what I mean? All that shit. My brother, he tried to keep me out the street. He tried, but I'm watching him. I'm looking at the streets. I'm in the streets. And shit, it just one thing led to another. You know what I mean? Yeah. It got on me so bad. Well, we stayed in a 5-bedroom house and got down the bathroom sat in the middle. My brother had 2 rooms, 2 doors to his room, right?
Yeah.
So he had a deadbolt on one and he had the regular shit and a deadbolt on the other. Some kind of way I figured out how to take the lock off this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I go in there and I run across the weed. So I start taking a little bit at a time, just a little bit at a time. Probably a little zip or some shit he probably ain't gonna miss like that.
Yeah.
So much. I ended up with probably like a half a pound of weed in probably like a month or so. So when I get this shit, now I gotta deep this computer book. I'm taking this shit to school with me every day. Gotta go everywhere I go.
Yeah.
I'm riding around the town on rollerblades and fucking bicycle, you know what I mean? With a backpack full of weed. I got weed all in the deodorant bottle up under the deodorant. You get what I'm saying? I done bagged it up. I got the sacks already, nickel bag, dime bag, and I put it up under the deodorant. So it looked like a deodorant when you open it.
Yeah.
I've been doing that. You get what I'm saying? Them cans they making now, I've been doing that with the real shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, so I'm moving like that. And I created my own clientele. You know what I mean? My clientele was strictly people from school.
Yeah.
All the little white kids, the judge's son and the lawyer's son, and the people I played baseball with, the people I played sports with, shit like that. People I went to class with, you know, the people I rode the bus with and shit like that didn't communicate really with my brother, underclassmen, up under him.
Yeah.
And the people that did know, they just automatically assumed that he was giving it to me. That wasn't the reality, you feel me? So I started getting money. And I started getting a lot of money. But the crazy part about that shit was I couldn't spend the fucking money, bro. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy this shit and bring it home, and then I gotta explain how the fuck we got this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was doing the little nigga shit then. I was going in the lunchroom, buying everybody's shit, flirting with the lunch ladies and all this little country shit, school, go up there, get my money, leave at lunchtime type shit. You know what I mean? People pulling out books in class, I'm pulling out weed. I get the bunny out the class, I leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit like that. Had weed and soap dispensers all around the schoolhouse. You know what I mean? Knowing the schedule of the janitors when they gonna come in here and change this shit. Like, I was moving real calculated at a young age, bro. And I really got away with all this shit. I remember the day sitting in class and they brought the fucking dogs up there to the high school, man. This shit was crazy. The high school, shout out Joseph County High School, man. They done closed the original down. But man, let me tell you, the fucking high school was really like East Side High.
Yeah.
I'm talking East Side High on Believe It on Me, man. Like, they tried everything. They couldn't bring a Joe Clark through that motherfucker, man. This bitch was rolling, right? So it was like, really, my freshman year when it kind of got like that. And I was part of that shit, man. Man, it was everything going on. People got busted with coke on that campus, guns, knives, weed, all kind of shit. And I remember one day they sent the dogs up there. And I was sitting in the classroom, man, and I was looking out the window and I saw the dog coming. I'm like, damn, Somebody had already told me they was supposed to be coming. So I took my book sack and I sprayed it down with the cologne. I had some black pepper and shit in that motherfucker. So I took all my fucking paperwork out of the backpack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I took the backpack when the dog came in the room. I set it by an empty desk. And man, when we went, they put us outside. We lined up against the wall. We were lined up against the wall, my nigga. I stand directly in front of the door so I can look in.
Yeah.
And see that dead. So I'm standing there, man, and they walking the dog all over by the counters, all this shit, by the chalkboard, all this shit. Boom. They walking down the aisle. When they walking down the aisle, and when they got through the aisle with the book sack, the motherfucker kept going. He ain't hit. I say, this is a dumbass dog. The bitch didn't hit, right? So now they, you know what I'm saying, they bring the dog out and shit, leave. You know, and it was a good day for me. I made it out, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I made it out that situation, man, but shortly after, goddamn, it was probably like a month later. I was kicking and skipping school, got my little partner with me, because I really used to skip school. I really used to get up in the morning, go to the bootleg. She'll sell me and my little partner a bottle of Kentucky Deluxe, get a pint of that, get a box of L Pro for me, a box of L Producto for him, and we finna go to the studio. I'm gonna throw him an ounce of weed, let him roll up, and I'm gonna roll up, and then I'm just finna record all day till lunchtime. Lunchtime hit, I go to school. I trap my money, I leave. Now I'm going to the block, I'm finna go shoot pool, I'm finna go to my other little spot. You know what I mean? Shout out JD Fish Market, man. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about, man. JD Fish Market did numbers, man. Solomon Geller taught me how to be a pool shark. You know what I'm saying? For real. That go back to, you know, what I was saying about the high school, man. After my 9th grade year, man, they closed that motherfucker down.
Oh, wow.
Cause I had literally, and people might not know it, but it was because of me, man. Like, it was a fish market in the heart of downtown. And goddamn, the public library, the drugstore, all this shit was right there in that area. Right? So it's really like them people area.
Yeah.
It ain't our people area. But the fish market got game room in it, got pool tables, all this shit. So I talked the man into giving me a job, let me keep it big clean and, you know, stock the shelves and all this shit. So we go for it. Got the job, I'm doing this shit. Home was fucking with me so heavy, the Indian, he was fucking with me so heavy, he started selling me cigarettes, all this shit. I was like 15. You get what I'm saying? He was selling me beer, alcohol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm drinking, I'm kicking it, right? So once he started kicking it with me like this, I started turning people on slowly. But over time, I grew a crowd. I had people paying me to get this shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you had to go through me to be good if you was coming from the high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the shit got so bad to where everybody was skipping school to where now the police watching it, bitch. It be day, my nigga. You might come by the store, my nigga, and they follow their motherfucking students skipping school. Like white, black, Mexican. It wasn't no motherfucking specific goddamn, you know, ethnicity of people out there. It was everybody, right? And this shit was going crazy. And one day, JD fucked around and sold that dude some alcohol. And I'll never forget, he came up there, he bought the alcohol, motherfucker goddamn might have walked outside and parked the top standing in front of the store. When he did, the truant said, officer, park the car, boom. This motherfucker sit the shit down and walk right back in the store. When he come in the store, the police park in the street, bam, come in the store. Candyman, I'll never forget that shit. He come in the store and get him, take him back outside, take him to the cat. They end up locking his ass up, locking my boy JD up, and they knocked the fucking store completely down. The same year they closed that motherfucking high school and moved this bitch way out the city limits. You can't just walk off campus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that shit went crazy.
Oh,
but,
man.
you know, like I was saying too, to get back up to speed, my brother, I fought around and sent my little partner to the store one day, man, to get some blunts. Junior, my best friend. And the nigga went to get the blunts, and on the way back, my cousin seen this nigga and asked this nigga, man, like, hey, bro, you seen Duke? He was like, yo, Duke down there, the baby J don't have with a whole bunch of weed. Now, I ain't had no problem with the nigga saying yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of that shit, he could have kept that shit to himself. You feel what I'm saying? Cause he ain't knowing what he ain't thinking. My cousin and my brother like this. Now my brother already knowing that the weed going missing a little bit by little bit. You get what I'm saying? But he ain't knowing who. Cause there's too many people that could possibly be fucking with it.
Yeah.
So when he tell the nigga this nigga go straight and tell my brother. So probably about 20 minutes later, we sitting down there, we smoking, we rolling up and shit. He'll knock at the door. Bam, bam, bam. They open the door. I hear my cousin. Duke in there. I go to the door. Nigga tell me, man, you might well bring your ass on. Your brother already know.
Oh.
I'm like, damn. I'm already knowing, like, we finna go through it. At this point, we had never fought, like, fist fight. Like, we'll beat each other up in the body and shit like that, toughen each other up, wrap some shirt around our hand, box some shit out, shit like that. But this day, this shit got different. Like, nigga, I got in that car, rolled up there. As soon as I got to the crib, the nigga met me out the door. You know what I mean? He stepped to me, at me, why you took my shit? Like, nigga, I ain't take your shit. I might have turned my back, pushed him or something, turned my back, walk away, and that nigga hit me so motherfucking hard in the back of the head. I stumbled down there across the street.
Dang.
So it was on, and my nigga, we ended up fighting for like 30, 40 minutes. I'm talking that 5-bedroom house home, we fought in every room in that house, bro. Literally. Like, every room, my nigga. And the shit was so crazy, cause after that, my nigga, like me and my brother relationship, it was like real fucked up for like the next, I wanna say about 7 to 8 years, if not longer. Like going to the same high school, he drive to school, I walk. I see him, it's raining, he keep going. You know, ain't no giving me shit, ain't no kicking it with me, ain't no nothing, my nigga. He got his friends, I got my friend. You know what I mean? But it was all good, cause niggas in the hood were fucking with me. The street was fucking with me. I had made a name for myself by this time. I had graduated, I was selling crack and coke, you know what I mean, along with the weed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I was a young nigga, and then I was a pool shark. I used to have an old nigga mad at me, man. Y'all niggas know who y'all niggas too. Y'all old ass nigga. Y'all niggas used to get so motherfucking mad at me, man. I remember y'all niggas telling me, man, take your young ass to school, nigga, this and that. Your quarters ain't no good. Get your quarters off the table. Nah, nigga, what I used to tell y'all nigga, nigga, my money good, nigga, and I'm betting, nigga. You know what I mean? I was running that motherfucker up. I was doing what I do. You know what I mean? That shit was everything. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I kept going with that shit, my nigga. I kept going. I fucked around and I got locked up. You know what I mean? I got locked up, fucking around, and I made a sale to a motherfucking CI. Yeah. But I knew this cracker was the police. Like, for real. When I say I knew this cracker was the police, like, I literally knew the cracker was the police. The cracker had no maybe probably like 8 buys from me, literally. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I used to always keep my brim low, keep my hat low, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Where you couldn't really see me even if he was. But at one specific time, you know, I said, fuck it, I ain't gonna give him no dope. I'm gonna perk that cracker. That what we call it in Florida. I'm gonna give him some fake shit. I'm gonna perk that cracker. So I cut a black and mild tip up and gave it to this cracker. The cracker rolled out, man, and I ain't even motherfucker come back. So right then, I knew something was up with this cracker. Yeah. So bam, when they came to lock everybody the fuck up, my nigga, some kind of way, you already know the cracker had me. But he only had me one time. I thank God for that shit, my nigga. And I was like, I probably like 17 then, 18 then, you feel me? Well, 17, finna be 18. They took all us to Julie Hall, my nigga, me, and probably like, shit, it was probably like 25 juvenile, bro. Yeah. And the rest was grown niggas. And when I say they locked up, down there the whole town, at least like 200 folk got locked up in this thing, right? They sent us to the tent. So we think 21 days, we finna go home. Yeah. You know what I mean? 21 in, 21 done. You get what I'm saying? So we in that bitch kicking shit, running the tent. All us from the same spot. They got us in the same dorm, about 5 of us. We kicking big shit, right? Fuck around my nigga and got down. The 21st day came, we ain't go nowhere. So we thinking we finna go to the hall. We thinking we good. 22nd day come, we ain't go nowhere. Now we on the phone, everybody talking to their people like, what the fuck going on? 23rd day come, they wake us up. Tell us to come on, so we think we finna go home. Everybody go up front, boom, they dress us out, boom, but they put us in shotguns and handcuffs, put us on a van. We still thinking we going home because they going toward the city. They just gonna drop us all home. And them folk took our ass to the county. Brought the judge and that motherfucker told us we being charged as adults. All our motherfucking ass. So then they assigned all of us a different kind of jail. They spread our ass out. It was niggas in Madison, it was niggas in Monticello, it was the niggas in Gretna. Man, they had niggas just spread out everywhere, right? Young niggas though. The youngest nigga in that bitch was 13, bro. My little partner had 21 dope charges, man. At 13, crack charges. I ain't talking about no bullshit, crack charges, man. And they sent all us to Madison County Jail, man. I'll never forget my first time going to jail. Cause I really went in that bitch on some shit like, damn, I wonder what this shit gonna be like. And some kind of way, I was the last nigga they took in the back.
Yeah.
So now I'm sitting in the holding tank by myself. They done dress me out. I'm like, man, I wonder what the fuck jail finna be like, bro. I done seen this shit on TV. I'm a young nigga. I ain't never had this experience.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it. They came and got me, took me back there, gave me my roll up. I go down there, the officer tell me to step in the slider when the door pop, walk in there. I step in the slider, my nigga. I'll never forget when they pop that door, my nigga. When they pop the door, I see my partner on the phone. I see another one of my niggas up there eating some Cheetos and some shit, sitting on here bump. I see another nigga sitting on the stair, you get what I'm saying, kicking shit, eating some shit. And my nigga, when I seen that shit, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I dropped everything down and said, this jail? Cause I'm thinking, you get what I'm saying, lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. Yeah. I'm a young nigga at that time, so I'm wild, so my mind wasn't to be scared or no shit like that. You get what I'm saying? I dropped everything, you know what I mean? And say, this jail? The same night, nigga, we in that bitch smoking. The same night, we in there kicking shit, my nigga. The same night, everything lit. And we went crazy in that bitch. We went retarded in Madison County Jail, my nigga. When I say retarded, man, we tore the people jail up, man. And we flooded that motherfucking jail, man. We did everything except for turn that motherfucker upside down, bro. Like, no cap, my nigga. And I stayed in that shit, like, I stayed in there maybe 4.5 months, my nigga. And the crazy shit again, my nigga, I was the last nigga to fucking be dealt with, my nigga. Like, I ain't had number one charge, bro. You heard me say niggas had 21. One nigga had 13, one nigga, you know what I mean? All these niggas situations got dealt with, right?
Yeah.
Every time I go to court, they send me back. So last time they take me to court, my nigga, I snapped. Like when I say I snapped, my nigga, like I snapped, my nigga. Like I went off in the courtroom. Like I went off. They sent me back again. And the last time I went, they say I can go home, but I can either take the juvenile plea, or I could take the adult plea. The juvenile plea was a program which a lot of us had the same opportunity. Yeah. But their program was sweeter. They were going to kiddie camp. They were sending me to boot camp. So I had to take boot camp and I had to turn myself in on my birthday type shit. So I like, fuck it, I took that shit. Went home, kicked it with my old lady, all that shit. Hung out with family, hung out with grandma and them, all that shit till my birthday came. When my birthday came, I woke up that morning, kissed my girl, my stepdaughter, got down, rolled me a blunt, rolled and hollered at my grandma. By the time I got back to the crib, they were telling me, goddamn, well, it wasn't even they were telling me. The lady was pulling up at the same motherfucking time. Get in the back seat, my nigga. I tell my folk, bye, get in the back seat. And shit, we ride off from the sunset, you know what I mean? She take me to a facility, drop me off. I ain't even spend the day there. They pick me up from there. They take me to Bay County. I went to Panama City to the detention center the first night. But I'm thinking this is where I'm going. I'm thinking the detention center was boot camp. Yeah. So when they sent me to this shit, I'm like, well, this shit sweet. Cause they let me kick it with the female. They got a PlayStation in them motherfucker. I'm like, oh nigga, I'm finna hang out. And they fed us good. So nigga, I'm like, nigga, I'm finna hang out. But go to sleep that night. Went to church and all that night. That was so crazy. They had church that night. And cause you can get with the girls, I went to church. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I went to church, my nigga. Hey, man, shit. I was in a new city. You get what I'm saying? I was on a field trip. Nah, but for real, like, so that experience was cool. It was cool. I went to sleep, my nigga. I woke up. When I woke up, the motherfucker was They woke all us up early, put us all in the classroom, brought us some cold ass hot dogs and grits. Hot dog when they ain't cooked, these bitches were raw. Gave us some hot dog grits and some other shit, some bread and some other shit for breakfast.
Yeah.
So we sitting there, you got an option to eat this shit if you want to or not, you know, starve type shit. So we in there bit, next thing you know, they started coming in there to get us, to pull us out one by one. So when they came in there, they like, all right, it's time for y'all to go. Who wanna go first? So everybody in the motherfucker looking crazy, right? Everybody looking crazy. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'll go first. My niggas, so the folk got down, they picked. I go on in them. We walked through the hallway, it's 2 double doors. I'm looking through one door, and I see the motherfucker with them big ass smoke in the back hat, them state trooper hats on, right? Them green suit. So when we go through that door, my nigga motherfucker grabbed me, boom, threw me against the wall, bam. Stretch my ass out. I'm talking about leg on one motherfucker in this ear talking about say sir, yes sir. The other motherfucker in this ear talking about say ma'am, yeah ma'am. These motherfuckers screaming all kind of shit. Just like you see on TV. They all in your shit, right? So the motherfucker handcuffed me, boom. Shocked me. They throw me out back. When they throw me out back, there's about 20 more of these motherfuckers. They doing the same thing, going crazy. By this time, nigga, I'm hot. I'm mad, nigga. Nigga chest heaving like a motherfucker, cause I'm pissed off, my nigga. And it was this one white dude, man. I'll never forget it, motherfucker, man. Officer Garrett. Shout out Officer Garrett, bro. You pushed me to a whole nother limit for real. You made me better, man. And in your own way. And then because of this little piece I'm about to share. When I first seen this white dude, bro, I hated him. I hated him just for looking at him. I hated him. Like, yeah. I knew I wasn't gonna like this dude. I knew me and him gonna go through it. I want us to type shit, right? Yeah. And when they put me on the bus that day, and I was first, I'm on there by myself, he came on the bus and he propped his feet up. And he said, yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with you. And it took everything in me to hold my tongue and not say nothing back to him, but in my head, I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. And I'm gonna have a lot of fun with you. You know what I mean? So boom, I get to watch everybody come out this motherfucker. They scared, some of them crying, some of them goddamn, you know what I mean, they mind fucked up, you know? And they load us up. The motherfucker loaded us up, bro, and took us out the gate and in another gate. The boot camp was literally across the fence, right? So we get to the boot camp, they dress us out, shave our head, well, patch our motherfucking heads up, fuck us up, gotta run around looking like a motherfucking dog with the mane. Gave us this ugly ass shit, some bullshit ass ball buckle Chuck Perry's and all this and all this shit to put on. And first thing they did, they exercised shit out of our ass, right? My nigga, I threw all that shit up. Me and a whole bunch of people, all that little bullshit, hot dog, all that shit throw up. They were trying to make us throw up anyway. I think they were fed at that shit. So nigga, I threw all that shit up, my nigga. And I was in boot camp, dog. I was in boot camp, man. The shit was a reality, my nigga, that I was there. I wasn't going nowhere. And for the first probably like a month, my nigga, I just bucked. When I say I bucked, my nigga, I bucked. Like, I ain't give a fuck. I had a bad attitude. They said that's the reason they were sending me to boot camp. At first, I didn't believe it, but I gotta accept it. I really did have a fucked up attitude. And boot camp really, like, brought that shit down, you know what I mean? Boot camp did me some good, my nigga. Like, I got in that motherfucker. I got into it with Officer Garrett like 2 times. He had to snatch me up, you know what I mean? Put me on the wall type shit, you know what I mean? But that shit was all good, you know what I mean? And after that, I started to open my eyes and realize, like, really the program was designed to make you think. You know what I mean? I had to raise my hand for permission to talk. I had to raise my hand for permission to strap. I had to raise my hand and ask for permission to speak before I could do any of that. You know what I mean? So it was designed to make you think. And when I caught on, and we had this other dude in there that was just goddamn, he was hard-headed as fuck. Shit, all the attention got diverted to him, and I was in the cliff, and I became head of platoon. I would lead, I do the most push-ups, I do the most sit-ups. Only thing I couldn't motherfucking do is outrun, you know, run the furthest. You know, with that white dude, that boy had some wind. You get what I'm saying? But outside of that, I excelled like a motherfucker. And it was one incident that I had in there that threatened my release date. And it wasn't like I was violating doing some wrong shit. Nigga was really violating doing some right shit. Like one of my partners that I met in there, cause I slept next door to him. So every time we line up, I'm either gonna be in front of him or behind him. So we did used to sneak and talk and shit.
Yeah.
Even though we weren't supposed to talk. Find out where home was from, this and that. Realizing class, home couldn't read. He can read, but he can't read.
Yeah.
So one of the requirements was you gotta have 10 book report did before you leave the program. You get what I'm saying? And me knowing that he couldn't read, I knew he wasn't gonna be able to do this shit. Yeah. So what I used to do was, I asked for permission to speak, asked for permission to get a book off the shelf. I go get the book, I do my report, I put my rough draft in that book, and I go put it back on the shelf. And then he'll go and get the same book. Okay. And then he can use that rough draft to write his report. So we got away with this shit up until like, he did maybe like 5 book reports. And one day they did a random shakedown. Yeah. And went in the rooms while we was in class. And the book report was in his mail. The rough draft. And they found it. So they came and they pulled me out and they pulled him out. And they threatened to take all my book reports and all this shit. But I was just open with them folks and honest. And I told the sergeant that, you know, I feel like it was my responsibility because that man couldn't read. Yeah. And ain't no way that man was gonna go home. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I left it at that. And I had to go to my next staff and they took my hat. They took my hat. I had the red hat at the time. That's the red hat before the green hat to go home. And they took my hat, knocked me back down to a blue hat. And I had to go to a restaff. And when I went to the restaff, believe it or not, that night, bro, I went in my room and this boot camp is where I started to believe in God. Like, I went in the room that night and the boot camp was so bad, my nigga, all I want to do was go home. All I want to do was go home, bro. And I'll never forget that night. I pulled out my Bible and I got up under my bed. Like, I laid on my back and I put the top half of my body up under the bunk. And I just prayed and cried. And I ain't know if he was listening or who I was talking to at the time, but the next day I had to go to a staff and all I was saying is I want to go home. And I got to the staff and in some kind of way, bro, I had more points than what I needed to go home, to get my hat back and be right back where I started. So I did that. And you know what I mean? Came up out that motherfucker. When I came up out that motherfucker, I hit the ground again and I was running again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, before we wrap this up, what's your goals to this legendary shit, man?
The goals is to make Legendary Records one of the biggest record labels in America and worldwide, nationwide. The goal is to be the best. The goal is to overachieve. You know what I mean? The goal is to be the realest. And when I say the realest, I'm talking purest. When I'm saying that, you know what I mean? I ain't saying the realest like I got something to prove. I'm saying the realest like I got something to lose. You know what I mean? And shit, it's a lot of shit coming up, man. Like I said, I don't like to do too much talking, man. Yeah. A lot of shit coming up. There's a lot of shit you can expect from me. Be on the lookout for the next episode coming off of this episode. You know what I mean? Of me just dropping BTS, talking to y'all, chopping it up, giving y'all the life story, giving y'all the drip. You know what I mean? And keeping y'all updated. You know what I mean? Shit get real, my nigga. Before we get out of here, I'ma bless y'all with a little snippet of that motherfucker. A little, not even a snippet. I'ma give y'all one. Don't sleep. I'm nobody go hard as me. Hey, don't sleep. It's ledge. Don't sleep. I'm nobody go hard as me. Cap for real. Real since a young nigga, fake on the fuck with you. I always been on bigger shit. I know that I'm heaven sentence. Mama make my back strong. Hey, I lost my backbone. Grandma was the real one. Always show me real love. Streets they were fucking with me, so I fuck with them too. Pockets on Albert, it's amazing what some painter do. I learned a lot, so I can show a lame a thing or two. Never went to school, but I can show you what a banker do. Don't play games, so I ain't fucking with you. Won't change lanes, I'm about my money, nigga. Shit seems strange, I think it's funny, niggas. Straight drop dope, that's how I'm coming, nigga. On top of my game, this shit a turtle race. The rabbit, he fast, let's see who coming first. Shoot for the stars and then a little farther. Get what? Can't stop now, I just keep going harder. Don't sleep. Don't nobody go hard as me, homie. Hey, I'm that nigga you need to see, homie. Hey, don't sleep on me. Hey, yeah, don't sleep on me. Hey, don't nobody go hard as me, Yeah, I'm that nigga you need to see, homie. Hey, tell me. Don't sleep on the mind of a master. Raised as a bastard. I get on the beat, sound like I'm preaching, call me pastor. Lyrics hit like scripture. Words they so heavy. Cause of where I've been, but I'm knowing where I'm headed. Focus ain't an option. Make that shit my life. Put some shit aside, now my future looking bright. Lost so many people, they ain't here with me. Cause of what I'm doing, no, they smiling cause I did it. Game motivated, real never fake it. Never had a chance, but fuck it, I'ma take it. Realest in the booth. Try to see the proof. Full and loaded clip, test the God, I shouldn't tell me. Hey, don't sleep, Hey, don't nobody go hard as me, homie. Hey, I'm that nigga you need to see, homie. Tell them niggas, hey, don't sleep, homie. Hey, don't sleep, homie. Don't nobody go hard as me, homie. Hey, I'm that nigga you need to see, homie. Hey, don't sleep, homie. Hey, yeah, don't sleep, homie. Hey, don't sleep, homie. Hey, yeah, don't sleep, homie. Don't nobody go hard as me, homie. Hey, don't sleep on me. Don't nobody go hard as me, homie. Hey, I'm that nigga you need to see, homie. Yeah, don't sleep on me. Yeah, sleep on me. Sleep, real sleep on me. Hey, don't sleep on me, for real.